Hi guys, I ventured out today and I ran an errand to my favorite place on earth. Time for the finale. So I had 134 loyalty points walking into Tonkadale today after placing this supply order. So naturally, I went shopping for the green stuff. I ended up walking away with 2 new plants, and I was really just going in there to see what was up and what was new, but I found a plant that I couldn't walk away from because of the potential it has. If it is what it is, it's been on my wish list for a long time, and I couldn't walk away from it. And we're gonna see, you know, we're kind of cautiously optimistic about it here, but I'm gonna see, I'm staring at it right now. We're gonna see how it does and what it kind of turns into, but I have a really good suspicion that it is what it is. But I'm gonna show you the first one, which is not that one, but it's still very cool. And you might have seen a version of this plant on Nick Pileggi's recent video. It is the Tenanth. And this one is called Tenanth Silver Star. It's in the prayer plant family. From Nick's video, it was he made it clear that this one is probably a good one to start with if you're getting into prayer plants, because it's a little bit more forgiving than some of the other varieties, in, you know, like the Calathea and the Maranta species. So this one, I love its growth habit. It reminds me a lot of Calathea rufibarba, and I really like how that particular plant has the long stalks and then the leaves kind of shoot out at a right angle. It just kind of looks, it's just a very neat looking plant. And so I decided, you know, I have what used to be known as the Calathea lancifolia. I continue to forget that thing's new name. I have an orbifolia, a Calathea orbifolia. I have the rufibarba. Let's try a Tenanth. So this little one came home with me. It's looking pretty healthy. A couple of crispy leaves, but we'll see. But yeah, it's a nice little purchase. I think Nick mentions this in his video, but I also love the kind of herringbone pattern that the leaves have. And then of course it has the standard prayer plant purple on the back. Okay. So I have an affinity for cast iron plants, and I got my first one, actually all of the cast iron plants, well, I guess all 3 that I have now were purchased from Tonkadale. So that goes to show you guys, check out your local nurseries, because they are getting new stock in all the time. They listen to their customers who are coming in looking for certain plants. They are really good about finding the pulse of what people are looking for and supplying that. So shop local if you can, and that's what I'm going to say about that. My big cast iron plant, it's just the green version, I love. They're so low maintenance. You can have them in relatively low light. You know, moderate light is probably their jam. It's where they like to exist. The brighter the light with any plant, probably the better off it's going to be, and the more energy it's going to be able to attain. Cast iron plants are cast iron. They are so hard to kill, or harm even. Mine has been just healthily happily hanging out in a corner. It used to be in my living room, which was even darker than where it is now. It's now in this room, or it had been for the summer. I might move it for the winter because I don't necessarily want it up against my radiators. It's in a corner that gets, you know, a lot of radiator heat in the winter. But it's phenomenal, and I love it, and it's so low maintenance, and it adds so much to my space. So big fan of cast iron plants. That's Aspidistra eleator. If you can find them, go for it. They're an awesome beginner plant. They're an awesome any level plant owner plant. On my wish list was the variegated version, and they have a couple of different varieties out there. Some of them are just insane with the variegations, just super stripy, like that creamy white and green, very pronounced. I don't know that I will ever find one of those. I would love to. They do have a version called the Milky Way, which has little speckles on it. Hang on, I'll go get that one, because I have that one too. Collect them all. But this has put out a lot of growth this summer. This whole leaf, this big old leaf. So as you can see, this variety is naturally speckled. Some people kind of call that splash versus variegation. That's fine. I love it. Yeah, so there's new growth popping up all over the place on this one, even right now. It hasn't really stopped yet. So I love this plant. It just adds a lot to a corner. They get quite large, and they're just really great plants. Walking by the cast iron plants section, something grabbed my eye. There were the big ones, of course. There were the Milky Ways, but there was also this little cluster of smaller pots. It's just smaller plants overall. But then I noticed something about the leaves that was kind of intriguing. And I looked a little closer, and I'm thinking, you guys, this is some sort of variegated cast iron plant. Let me see if I can show you what I'm seeing. So there is striping on pretty much every leaf. The larger leaves, there's not a ton, but it's there. And it looks intentional. It doesn't look like a leaf that is chlorotic or that isn't receiving enough nutrients or anything like that. And then this, I don't know if I can even show you what this looks like. There's this leaf that's coming up that has a lot of variegation in it that I can see. Just looking at the way the leaf is coming out. Yeah, there's a lot coming out. These look variegated, you guys. At least stripy. So I couldn't pass it up. This variegated cast iron plant has been on my wish list for a long time. And I really enjoy the plants in general. They're also very pest resistant, I have found in my experience. So can use with a little bit of that right now. But they are probably one of my favorite plants that, you know, like floor plants. I'm not drawn to the big ficus, the fiddle leaf figs, or anything like that. It's just not my scene. But I love these guys, probably just for the ease of care. So, guys, I might have, we're going to see how these, so there are two leaves coming up right here. This one, there's one right here. When they unfurl, I kind of want to see what they look like. And I'm going to keep this guy in pretty high light, probably higher than my other two plants, cast iron plants are currently in. But I do just want to see what happens here. And it looks like there's some other pieces that were cut off. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this pot. So I will likely repot this pretty quick. Just kind of in preparation for a long winter for it. But I couldn't walk away from it. I really couldn't. It just feels a little too intentional to be like plant damage. Worst case scenario, I have another cast iron plant and I'm not mad about that at all. All right, so that's my haul from Tonkadale Greenhouse. If you're ever in the Twin Cities area in Minnesota, highly recommend you checking them out. They're in Minnetonka, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. So I definitely also recommend checking them out on Instagram. They've got a cool feed there. I will certainly link their information, both Instagram and I think they have a YouTube channel too. So I'll link all of that in the description below. I'm starting to really miss being out and about in society, and so when you have the opportunity to do it safely, you know, I say go for it. Because up here we're all about to be shut in and buried under feet of snow anyway. So get out there while you can. You know, obviously mask up, be safe, do the social distancing thing, but, you know, support local businesses too. Find that balance. I think we all need to continuously search for that balance between, you know, fostering our communities and also protecting ourselves. Hope you all are doing well and having a good rest of your Sunday fun day. Mine was super fun. Until next time, you guys, enjoy your plants.